We have mentioned the power of consent and your signature in other videos. Now let's get into some details of what that means in your IEP. In this video, you will learn what consent means, what options you have when signing the IEP, and what options you have if you refuse to give consent. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, says a parent has the right to exercise consent. A parent is either one of the two parents if both share educational rights, and a parent can also be defined as a biological, adoptive, foster, guardian, a person acting in place of a parent who is legally responsible, or a surrogate. IDEA uses the term consent to mean that a parent has been fully informed of all relevant information in their native or primary language, or in another mode of communication. Also, when a parent gives their consent, it means that they understand and agree with the actions or activity for which the consent is being sought. It means that you are fully informed and that you understand. When it comes to signing your IEP, you have some options. You can sign an agreement with all parts of the IEP. That would mean that you were part of the team and that your consent is given for the proposed services, that you agree with the proposed services or the changes or the placement that they are offering, and that you agree that the IEP is appropriate. You can sign the IEP with exceptions, agree with some but not all of the proposed IEP, and write down your exceptions. For example, you can give consent to the services offered, but you disagree with the placement proposed. The parts of the IEP that you consent to will take effect, while the parts that you don't agree with will require discussion at another meeting. You can also choose to sign that you attended the IEP meeting and hold off on signing agreement altogether if you need more time to think about the proposals. You'll have to schedule another meeting to follow up. Make sure you follow up in writing. Or you can disagree with the entire proposed IEP and begin a process to resolve the disagreement. Consent is voluntary, and parents should be fully informed when giving it. Your signature giving consent means that you were included and understand what the district is proposing. Consent means that you agree.
And then when we found out about our kid, it changes everything. Just of course you expect a lot from your kid. And then later on, oh, okay, do you dream some more for him? Do you see him, of course, graduating college and everything else? But once we found out about him, it's different. It's kind of like taking one day at a time and see how it goes. But I think it changes us personally. It changes a lot on us. It makes us more stronger, I guess.
It's okay not to be sure about giving your consent. You can always take a couple of days before making any decisions. Always be sure to ask questions and completely understand what you are signing and why. Keep copies of anything you sign for your records. Know that you have the right to revoke or cancel your consent at any time, but it's not retroactive. It will not reverse any action that was taken after the consent was given. Let me explain. For example, if you gave consent to changing your child's placement in their IEP from a special day class to a regular education class, and you revoke or change your mind and take back your consent to the change before the change happens, before the child attends the new class, the original placement will stand. However, in the same example, if the child started in their new placement and then you decided that you wanted to revoke or cancel your consent, your child won't return to their previous placement. And you can return to the table and have a discussion with the team about that disagreement. If your child has an ongoing IEP and you refuse consent by not signing the IEP or taking steps to resolve the disagreement, the district has a responsibility to provide your child with an appropriate education and may take actions to ensure that your child is receiving a free, appropriate public education. Call us to know more about what can happen if you choose not to give consent in your specific case. If you disagree with the actions the school is asking that you give consent to, instead of not responding, it's always a good idea to document your concerns. Part of working as a team to serve a child is trying to work towards agreements together. but it is common for members of a team to have different perspectives. And if agreement isn't reached, the parent must be given prior written notice about what the school proposes or refuses in regards to the child's IEP. Call Parents Helping Parents if you have more questions.